Have you noticed your grocery bill creeping up? It's not just your imagination. Economic shifts, including a recent inflation spike to 2.9%, are about to make everyday essentials much more expensive. Prices on certain items are set to jump significantly by November, and I've spent weeks analyzing the data to find out which ones. This isn't about panic buying, it's about smart shopping. In this video, I'll reveal 6 specific items you should stock up on now before their prices surge. Acting on this information could save you a substantial amount of money over the next few months. If you want to stay ahead of these price hikes and keep your budget intact, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into the 6 items you need to buy before the prices climb. One morning ritual is about to get more expensive. For countless people, the day doesn't truly begin until they've had their first cup of coffee. It's a daily ritual, a small comfort and a necessary boost. Unfortunately, this beloved staple is on the front lines of a significant price surge. You might not think a small increase matters, but the data suggests we're on the brink of a major adjustment that will be felt in every cup. Between April and August of this year, coffee prices have already climbed by an alarming 8%, with a sharp 6% spike in August alone. This isn't a gradual creep, it's a rapid acceleration that is a clear indicator of what's to come. The coffee currently on store shelves was largely imported before the latest round of economic pressures took full effect, creating a temporary bubble of lower prices that is about to burst. A huge part of this story revolves around international trade dynamics. Brazil is a titan in the coffee world, supplying over 1/3 of all the coffee consumed in the United States. Recent geopolitical and economic events have resulted in a staggering 50% tariff being levied on Brazilian imports as of early August. This isn't an isolated issue. Other major coffee-producing nations, such as Vietnam and Indonesia, are also facing steep new tariffs. The key thing to understand is that these costs don't get absorbed by governments or shipping companies. They are passed directly down the supply chain, eventually landing on the price tag you see at the supermarket. The coffee that will be restocked in the coming weeks and months will carry this new, higher cost. Local coffee roasters and cafe owners are already seeing the writing on the wall, with some reporting a surge in bulk orders from customers trying to get ahead of the inevitable price hike. This is your signal to act. If you're a regular coffee drinker, now is the time to purchase a few extra bags of your favorite ground coffee. While whole beans are great, ground coffee is often more cost-effective per ounce and can be stored for several months in a sealed, airtight container away from light and heat. By Thanksgiving, that familiar $10 bag could easily cost $15 or more. Taking a few simple steps now will ensure your morning routine remains an affordable pleasure rather than a budgetary strain. 2. The hidden costs in your kitchen and living room. Next, let's turn our attention to items you might not buy every week, but whose price increases can deliver a significant blow to your budget when you do need them. We're talking about household furnishings and small appliances. The blenders, toasters, air fryers, kitchen gadgets, and even basic furniture like shelving units or end tables that make a house a home. The price of these goods has been quietly escalating. The Consumer Price Index for this category saw a 3% jump in June 2025, a multi-year high that signals a broader trend. Federal Reserve data confirms that the prices of core goods have already started to rise as a direct result of recent trade policies, and we are only seeing the beginning of this ripple effect. This is a category particularly vulnerable to international economic shifts. The reason for this vulnerability is simple. The vast majority of these products are imported. A quick look at the made-in labels on items in your kitchen will likely reveal countries like China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. These nations are now at the center of tariff increases ranging from 34% to over 50%. A 54% effective tariff on goods from China, a manufacturing powerhouse, is an enormous cost that cannot be absorbed. Manufacturers and importers will pass this expense on, and retailers will have no choice but to adjust their prices accordingly. Store managers are already receiving bulletins from their suppliers warning of price adjustments for all new shipments arriving this fall. The crucial point is that current shelf stock represents pre-tariff inventory. Retailers bought these items months ago, at the old, lower cost. Once that inventory is depleted, it will be replaced with new, more expensive stock. That $50 air fryer you've been eyeing could be $65 or $70 by the time Black Friday sales roll around. If you've been putting off replacing a sputtering blender or a toaster that only toasts one side of the bread, your window of opportunity to buy at the current price is closing. This is not about encouraging unnecessary spending, it's about forward thinking. If you know you will need a new small appliance or a piece of basic furniture in the next 6 months, purchasing it now is a financially savvy move. Waiting will simply mean paying more for the exact same product later. Dressing for less is getting harder. The third category that demands your immediate attention is basic apparel and footwear. This includes the essentials that fill our closets and dressers: jeans, t-shirts, socks, underwear, and sneakers. For families with growing children, this category is particularly important. A perfect storm of factors is brewing that is set to drive the cost of clothing up by an estimated 10 to 20%. Economists from institutions like the Yale Budget Lab project that while the full impact of these price increases could take years to unfold, the initial and most noticeable wave is hitting stores right now. This isn't a distant problem, it's an immediate one. The price adjustments are already being planned and will become very real for shoppers by November. Let's break down why this is happening. The sticker price on a pair of jeans is heavily influenced by where the cotton was grown, where the fabric was milled, and where the final garment was sewn. Clothing from a country like Egypt might face a 10% tariff, which is significant but perhaps manageable. However, apparel from Cambodia is now subject to a 49% tariff. Much of our clothing originates from countries like China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh, all of which are facing substantial new import duties. These costs are not theoretical. They are concrete figures that will be factored into the price of the next season's inventory. That $45 pair of jeans could soon be priced at over $50. A multi-pack of socks that costs $15 today could be closer to $20 by the new year. For a family, these small increases add up quickly. Retail insiders have confirmed that internal communications are already circulating, detailing price adjustment strategies for the holiday season. The message is clear. The current prices are temporary. What can you do? Take stock of your family's wardrobe needs for the next 6 to 9 months. If you know you'll need new basics, purchase them sooner rather than later. For parents, this is a golden opportunity. If your child is currently between sizes, buying the next size up in essentials like sneakers, jeans, and seasonal jackets is a smart hedge against future price hikes. They will grow into them, and you will have locked in today's lower price. This is about strategic purchasing, not hoarding. It's about buying what you will need anyway, just a little bit ahead of schedule, to protect your budget from the inevitable increases. Fortify your pantry against rising food costs. The most immediate and frequent financial pressure many households face comes from the weekly grocery bill. It's here that even small price increases are felt most acutely. We're now seeing a significant acceleration in the cost of food consumed at home, which rose 2.7% over the last year. More concerning is the recent monthly data. Grocery costs jumped 0.6% in August, marking the largest single-month increase in 2 years. This isn't an isolated trend affecting a few luxury items. Core staples are seeing notable price hikes. Beef is up 2.7%, tomatoes have climbed 4.5%, and even apples are 3.5% more expensive. These increases are occurring against a backdrop of persistent inflation and ongoing supply chain disruptions, creating a perfect storm for your food budget. The items that line your pantry shelves, canned goods and other shelf-stable products, are about to become more expensive. Grocery store managers are on the front lines of this shift. They are observing a decline in order fulfillment rates from their suppliers, meaning they are receiving less of the stock they order week after week. While this may not result in completely empty shelves, it does indicate a tightening of inventory. Basic economic principles tell us that when supply tightens, prices invariably rise. The good news is that there is still a window of opportunity. Key pantry items like canned tomatoes, beans, soups, pasta sauces, and canned proteins like tuna and chicken are still available at prices that reflect older, lower costs. This is your chance to engage in strategic purchasing. This doesn't mean hoarding items you'll never use. Instead, take a thoughtful inventory of what your family regularly consumes. If you frequently cook with beans and tomatoes, adding a few extra cans to your cart on your next shopping trip is a logical step. If tuna sandwiches are a lunch staple, stocking up now makes financial sense. A simple organizational hack, like writing the purchase date on each can and rotating your stock, first in, first out, ensures nothing goes to waste. The math is simple but compelling. Buying 20 essential canned items now versus waiting until November could save you $10 to $20, money that can be better used elsewhere. To amplify your savings, focus on store brands, which often provide the same quality as name brands at a fraction of the cost. 5. Secure holiday cheer before prices climb. For parents and anyone with children in their lives, the upcoming holiday season brings a unique set of budgetary pressures. The fifth category to focus on is toys and recreational items. This is a sector overwhelmingly dominated by imports, with an estimated 80% to 90% of all toys sold in the US originating from China. This single fact makes the toy industry exceptionally vulnerable to the current tariff landscape. China is now facing an effective tariff rate of 54%, a massive tax that is being woven into the cost structure of nearly every doll, board game, and action figure. The cost isn't absorbed by the manufacturer or the shipping company. It is passed down the line and will ultimately be reflected in the final retail price you pay. While prices on recreational goods have already seen a 3% increase due to these economic pressures, industry experts are pointing to November as the month when the next, more significant wave of price adjustments will hit stores. This timing could not be worse for consumers, as it coincides directly with the ramp-up to peak holiday shopping season. You'll be facing a double whammy: higher seasonal demand coupled with newly inflated prices. Store managers in toy departments are already reporting that their inventory levels are significantly lower than in previous years, sometimes by as much as 40%. They are receiving less stock from suppliers. And what does arrive comes with a higher price tag. Their advice is unanimous: if you are planning to buy toys for the holidays, do it now. That $30 toy on the shelf today could easily be priced at $40 or more by Black Friday. Even with promotional deals, the final cost may only bring the price back down to what you would pay today without the stress in crowds. The smart strategy is to purchase holiday and upcoming birthday gifts now while prices are still based on pre-tariff inventory. Focus on items with lasting play value: classic board games, outdoor toys like balls and jump ropes, and fundamental educational items like building blocks and art supplies. These are the toys that will be used long after the holiday excitement fades. By planning ahead, you can secure these gifts at a lower cost, enjoy peace of mind, and avoid the last-minute scramble, allowing you to focus on enjoying the season rather than stressing over the shopping. 6. The rising price of everyday tech essentials. In our digitally connected world, we rely on a host of small electronic accessories that we often take for granted until they break. The final category to consider is these basic electronics and cables: the phone charging cords, headphones, HDMI cables, and power strips that power our daily lives. Unlike many other tech categories where prices tend to decrease over time as technology matures, these essential accessories are currently on an upward price trajectory. The broader category of video and audio equipment has already seen prices jump 5–7% above the 2025 trend. This is a reversal of the norm, driven almost entirely by import costs. The vast majority of these simple tech items are manufactured in China and are therefore subject to the heavy tariffs discussed earlier. A $15 charging cable might not seem like a major expense, but the inconvenience and cost of replacing it can add up. With new tariffs in place, that same $15 cable is projected to cost $20 to $25. Tech retail insiders have confirmed that they are receiving notices from suppliers about significant price increases scheduled for the fourth quarter, which includes the crucial months of October, November, and December. The message from manufacturer to retailer is clear: our costs are rising, and so your prices must rise as well. This is a direct signal to consumers to buy now. Think about the accessories you use and replace most often. Charging cables are a prime example. They fray, get lost, or simply stop working. Purchasing a few extras now, one for your car, one for your travel bag, and a spare at home, is a prudent move. The same logic applies to other essentials. If you've been considering a new pair of everyday headphones, need an extra HDMI cable for a new TV, or could use another power strip, now is the time to buy. This is not about investing in high-end electronics, but about stocking up on the low-cost, high-use items you will inevitably need. By spending a little now, you can avoid paying a premium for the exact same products just a few months down the road. Bonus point 7. Pet essentials before the price jumps. Pets are cherished members of our families, bringing joy and companionship. But the financial commitment to their well-being is steadily rising. The cost of caring for them, particularly for essential supplies, is becoming increasingly expensive. Pet food, for instance, along with other critical items, is experiencing consistent price increases. This surge is primarily driven by the escalating costs of key ingredients like chicken and grains, which are fundamental to most pet diets. Additionally, significant import tariffs are impacting the prices of many pet accessories, from leashes and collars to beds and toys. Retailers have already begun issuing warnings that prices on pet foods, treats, and other daily necessities could jump by a substantial 8–12% in the near future. This is because new inventory, acquired at higher costs, is starting to replace current stock on shelves. This means that what you can purchase today at a certain price may be considerably more expensive in just a few months, making proactive purchasing a wise move. To effectively mitigate the financial strain of these impending price hikes, it's highly advisable to consider stocking up now on the items your beloved pet uses regularly. The key is to focus on practical essentials that they will realistically consume and use over the coming months. This includes staples such as their regular brand of food, litter, or favorite treats. When buying pet food in larger quantities, always be diligent about checking expiration dates to ensure your stockpile remains fresh and safe for your pet until it's consumed. Furthermore, if your pet has specific favorite toys or other essential accessories that are prone to wear and tear, purchasing a few spares now can save you money and hassle down the line. Bulk buying these non-perishable pet items not only offers significant savings in the long run by locking in lower prices, but also alleviates the stress of needing to acquire them urgently at inflated costs later. It's about smart planning for continued pet care without breaking the bank. Bonus point 8. Stock up on paper and plastic goods. Everyday household staples items we often take for granted, like paper products and disposable plastics, are quietly but steadily becoming more expensive. We're talking about essentials such as toilet paper, paper towels, various sizes of trash bags, and food storage bags. The underlying reasons for these creeping price increases are complex, primarily stemming from rising costs of energy, which powers paper mills and plastic production facilities, and the increasing cost of raw materials needed for manufacturing. These factors are further compounded by ever-increasing transportation expenses, moving goods from factories to store shelves. These cumulative factors are exerting considerable pressure on retailers. While many stores might still be selling older inventory that was purchased at lower prices, the next round of stock they receive will inevitably reflect these higher operational costs. Once this inventory transition occurs, consumers will undoubtedly notice significant price hikes across these essential categories, making it a critical time to act. Now is the opportune moment to take advantage of current deals and stock up on these crucial, non-perishable items. Unlike fresh produce, these goods won't spoil, making them ideal for bulk purchases. Consider buying a moderate supply, enough to last several months but not an excessive amount of paper towels, toilet paper, various sizes of trash bags, and freezer bags. These are items you know your household will consistently use and that have a very long shelf life. While the goal isn't to hoard, building a reasonable backup supply can effectively shield your household budget from the sting of future price increases. Beyond the financial benefit, having these fundamental basics readily on hand also provides peace of mind and saves you from those inconvenient, last-minute dashes to the store where you often end up paying full price when you unexpectedly run out. It's a simple step that offers both economic and practical advantages. Bonus point 9. Secure health and personal care staples. Over-the-counter medicines, daily vitamins, and a wide array of personal care products, think toothpaste, shampoo, soap, deodorant, and even lotions, are also experiencing gradual but persistent price increases. A significant portion of what we find on pharmacy and grocery store shelves is imported from other countries, meaning these items are directly affected by the same tariffs, global supply chain disruptions, and rising production costs that impact other consumer goods. While the individual price hikes might appear small at first glance, perhaps just a few cents here or there, these incremental increases can quickly accumulate into a substantial drain on a household budget over time, especially for families who purchase these items frequently for multiple members. With colder weather and cold and flu season often just around the corner, it's a particularly smart idea to proactively check your home supplies of essential medicines and hygiene products now. This involves not only noting what you need, but also responsibly disposing of anything that has expired. This preparation ensures you're not caught off guard during peak illness seasons. Purchasing bulk packs of common essentials like pain relievers, various types of soap or toothpaste, is a strategic way to effectively lock in current, lower prices. This approach offers a dual benefit. It saves you money in the long term by avoiding future price surges, and simultaneously ensures your household is well prepared for both everyday needs and any sudden emergencies that might arise. By planning ahead and strategically stocking these non-perishable health and personal care items, you'll avoid inconvenient, extra trips to the store and the frustration of paying higher, full prices when these staples inevitably become more expensive. Bonus point 10. Automotive maintenance essentials. When it comes to keeping your car running smoothly, timing is everything. Too often people wait until there's a problem before stocking up on maintenance items, but with the price of automotive supplies climbing, it's smarter to plan ahead. Motor oil, windshield wiper fluid, antifreeze, and basic car cleaning products are all feeling the squeeze of rising global oil prices, tariffs, and increasing transportation and manufacturing costs. For example, motor oil follows the ebb and flow of crude oil on the world market. If oil prices surge, you'll see it reflected on the shelf soon after. Plastic, another petroleum product used for bottles and packaging, costs more now too, adding to the final tab. Even seemingly simple items like wiper blades are getting more expensive because they're made from metal and rubber, both of which are pricier lately due to tariffs and supply issues. Auto parts retailers are already preparing for new rounds of price hikes in crucial maintenance categories before year's end. That means the prices you see today for oil, wiper blades, or antifreeze are likely the best you'll find for months to come. Instead of waiting until you're desperate or facing a higher bill at your next oil change, buy these essentials now. Check your car's manual for upcoming scheduled maintenance. Is an oil change, coolant replacement, or wiper blade swap in your near future? Grab what you'll need now. Not only do you lock in a lower price, but you'll also be ready when something needs topping off or fixing. This is an easy way to get ahead of price spikes and avoid last-minute runs to the store where you pay premium rates. Even having an extra set of wiper blades or a spare jug of washer fluid in your trunk can save you frustration and money down the road. Bonus point 11. Outdoor and gardening supplies. Gardening and outdoor care offer therapy and relaxation, but prices for essentials are trending up, making this hobby more expensive to maintain. Potting soil, fertilizer, garden hand tools, hoses, and even seeds have all begun to reflect higher energy, material, and transportation costs. Heavy, bulky goods like soil and fertilizer are particularly vulnerable because shipping them is expensive. Rising fuel costs directly push up the sticker price. Add to this the surges in nitrogen and phosphorus, both critical to many fertilizers, and you see spikes at the cash register. Garden tools often import from tariff-affected countries and are made from costly metal and plastic. Even small items like seed packets, pots, and gloves have been creeping upwards due to not just materials, but global logistics headaches. Store buyers are already seeing next year's wholesale rates rise, and what's on shelves now is some of the last inventory before a new, pricier batch arrives. If you see a sale on garden tools, watering cans, or planters, consider buying now rather than waiting until spring. If your tools are worn or you need more pots for fall planting, now's the perfect time to stock up at a better price. Similarly, fertilizer and soil, if stored properly, will last until you need them. By anticipating your gardening and outdoor maintenance needs, you can avoid paying top dollar later. Think about seeds too. Global weather disruptions and supply chain delays can make certain varieties harder to find at a good price next season. Stocking up on basic supplies now isn't hoarding. It's a practical way to extend your gardening joy and save your budget. Bonus point 12. Batteries and emergency preparedness supplies. It's easy to overlook, but batteries and other emergency supplies have also seen steady cost increases. Battery production relies on metals like lithium, zinc, and manganese, whose market prices are rising, and like many tech goods, nearly all are subject to international tariffs, higher shipping fees, and increased manufacturing expenses. AAA and specialty batteries are all getting pricier with every new shipment, so buying a bulk pack now for future use is a savvy move. Don't forget flashlights, basic emergency lights, candles, and pre-assembled first aid kits. LED flashlights and the batteries they rely on are now more expensive as component parts and materials cost more. Candles are not immune either, since wax production, often tied to oil markets, is up. First aid kits are a bundle of items, and nearly every piece from adhesives to antiseptic wipes tracks with overall manufacturing trends upwards, especially for imports. Take a quick inventory of what your household would need in a short-term emergency. Working flashlights with good batteries, an extra multi-pack of batteries, a backup first aid kit, and perhaps a few candles. Replace or stock up now when prices are lower and supply is good, so you're not caught off guard during a power outage or storm, and forced to pay a premium at a convenience store. Investing a modest amount in these basics not only offers peace of mind for emergencies, but also keeps more money in your pocket as costs continue to climb.